Always nice to kind of get the body warmed up a little bit. We work just a fundamental technique, which is escaping side control, cross body. We touched on this yesterday and earlier in the week on once we are halfway out of side control, we can counterattack. Like your opponent is, if they don't adjust to what you're doing, they're very vulnerable. And this is a technique that I see a lot on the circuit. I like it. I just wasn't quite sure how I can adapt it for my game, and it just came so easy when I realized, oh, it's right here in this very position. So, so he's going to hold me side control, and just very baseline. A couple of things to remember: your forearm is against the hip. We're not connecting the hands in any way. For this particular technique and this escape, you got to have this orientation. I need this inside frame with my hand cupping his shoulder and my forearm under his chin. So from here, nothing really too unique. I move my hip, I get my knee inside. But once the knee is inside, this is when the trap is set. We got to control the cross-face arm. So as soon as I put the knee in, I just bite. Whatever is comfortable for you. You can grab the bicep, you can pinch, but he doesn't get the arm back. The key here now is this arm, the job of this arm is to keep his head exactly where it is. So this is a frame. So I'm kind of creating a little bit of space here. Now your outside leg is gonna run parallel. It's gonna track right alongside the bottom leg. You see how I kind of fold it in. You have to engage this knee a little bit, but I'm going in and then I flare the knee up. Once the knee comes up, it replaces this frame. Now I bite on his elbow. It's what we're trying to do here. I want to rotate, I use the term corkscrew, rotate his elbow to the outside, while at the same time my hip scoots a little out and I rotate my knee to the inside. Now I can throw my leg over. If my partner is a lot bigger than me, I advocate everybody start just putting the foot on the hip, because I have to be prepared for any sort of violent reaction he may have. Can you put the butterfly hook in? Can you throw your leg all the way through? Absolutely. There's many different ways you can be creative with this. But this is the entry. I went from being held in side control to either a straight arm lock. I can just literally rotate his thumb. I have the arm right here. We can go kimura. Lots of things, but you see the way in which I utilize that frame to create that space. So you start here, escape your hip, knee in. Once the knee is in, this is the critical component. Do not deviate from this. If you gable grip on the elbow, he's just gonna smash you. You lose everything. You need to make sure this is here, and I just get somewhat of a bite on his arm. Then here. And once I get here, you can hold the elbow. We want to get the elbow to point to the outside while our hip and knee rotate to the inside. Then you see it's a pathway for the foot to go right on the hip. Take care with your partner's arm right now. Just get comfortable with this frame. I hook, make sure that bottom leg is hooking against the hip. So I have pretty good containment over his hips. Then it's wrist control. Just control the wrist. You just rotate a little bit, you'll feel the extension. Or if you're more comfortable going into a kimura grip, that's fine too. But this is gonna be the entry for this morning, how we start. Here, out, I go in, and as your knee comes in, you kind of see I kind of engage my shoulder in that frame. I need space for my knee. Once the knee is here, I engage my hips. If he tries to put his weight towards me, and then as you see, as I rotate his elbow, his shoulder naturally starts to dip. That makes it easier for my knee to go over. And then we throw it right on the hip. Then from here, you can finish as you see fit. So this is a great entry. Don't hold side control too tight. Just get used to the movement. But the key to this movement is the outside leg runs parallel and opens up. We'll create a very strong frame. Worst case scenario, you escape side control. If your partner starts to disconnect, reset your guard so that you don't lose in the beginning. Are there any questions?